Now, I know I really don't have to tell you, but big spoiler warning. If you don't want to be spoiled, I probably wouldn't watch this video. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I am DadBod. Tonight, I thought I would make a TLDR version of the video that just released. I was going through and editing it, and there's so many things that I wanted to keep in there and explain the why behind it. But I also know that not everyone has 33 minutes to watch all of it. So if you want to watch just the abbreviated version of the best kept secret of the 2020 spring collab, that's what we're doing now. Let's go. So the first thing and the most important thing I gotta say is, one, big shout out to Maildrop Folder who put all this together. Insane amount of work, and it turned out fantastic. Also, a big shout out to Vex and Cruor, who were the first people to actually figure it out, and also good on you guys for not spoiling it. I knew you wouldn't. Today has been a really busy day. I spent most of my day just watching the main Celeste Discord freak out about trying to figure all of this out, because it gets pretty crazy. So we're just going to kind of cover the main points of this. If you want a more in-depth analysis of it, there is a full version that I've linked in the description. So for those of you who have the collab, one thing that we put in when it first launched down here is a little statue. So to save us some time, the statue, when we look at the very bottom, and I have a zoomed in version up there, gives us Morse code. And that Morse code translates to this. Now, what does that mean? What does that stand for? Well, if we go and we return to the map, book back. So the very first thing that we think of is the book. And if we look at this actually slow enough, I'll play this in slow-mo. Did you see it? If not, it's okay. I've put a picture of it up on the screen, obviously. We can see on the back of that has some very, very specific colors. Those colors, if we dig in, and if you remember to the heart in Chapter 1 of Vanilla, there was a dash code, and essentially that is a dash code. So when we move over from what was in Vanilla, we get, let me see if I can do this right, up, left, down, right, up, left, up, right, down, right, left. And here it informs us that we need to extract the zip, find GymBG, and open it up as a text. So let's do it. All right, so when we open up GymBG, it actually gives us this, and it says Caesar Cipher in Donkers XML. For those of you who don't know, it's a really basic type of encryption or coding that essentially moves a letter or digit a certain amount over, and you just kind of step them all back to create the word that you want to hide. And when we load up Donkers XML, we get this. We can see all of this stuff here, and number 7 is just a whole bunch of jumbled letters. When we put that into the Caesar cipher, we get another code. All right, Caesar cipher up here, as you can see, in transparency behind scribbly trees. So that leads us right to Chloe's map, which is Jots and Scribbles. When we load into that style ground and remove the alpha, which is behind the transparency, we get this that you'll see up on your screen. It says binary in Canadians clouds. And this one actually took me a while because I was looking in the style grounds, I was looking in just some of the background images and nothing. And if we look here on this tile set, the bottom two right corners, if read left to right, top to bottom, in binary, we get this message. So the binary message reads hex in whale decal. So now we have to find whale decal. And once we find the whale decal, we kind of do the same thing that we did before with removing the alpha layer. And removing the alpha layer opens this. And we can actually see now a couple different colors show up here. So what I ended up doing was taking a color picker, selecting the colors, writing them down, and then entering them into a hex to ASCII converter, and we got this. So once we got that information, it created a link. That link sent us to this Google Sheets where we have the ciphertext. So if we copy this and put it in the input, add the special key, we get a picture. And this picture is actually just a picture from, it's actually just a picture from a map. And it looks sort of familiar, but if you want an extra hint, we can do the need a hint, copy this over, and the output is which maps are made of rectangles, which takes us to Bissy's map in Advanced, which is like the underwater level. Looks really, really awesome, but this is a special room from it. So what we ended up doing is getting to that room, seeing where there's the green on the screen that's highlighted there. What's also really neat too is if we take the text, the numbers from the file name, so we can copy these really quick and we can go into our converter, drop this in hex, and the ASCII text reads writing system for the blind. So we are looking for Braille. So once we got into this room, I found the 3 blocks, and you can see them up here. It's not easy to see. Put them in our image editor and just focused in on those specific areas. In those areas, the top one, we got the word key. The bottom left is, and the bottom right is the word scuttlebug. Key is scuttlebug. So we're going to take the new input, which doesn't have a key, scuttlebug, and it creates a folder called Endgame. In Endgame, we have 3 items. We have limerick, we have tome, and we have torn page. So there's like a small limerick in here, which I thought was pretty cool. There's something that you ought to know. The tome was made for 1.0. When solving that trial, you'll exclude 1 dial, since it wasn't like that before. That has everything to do with what's inside this tome. I'm going to start on torn page, which you're going to see up on the screen now. What's really unique about this is it references a map in the expert lobby called Thunder Temple by Lethargic Doggo, and actually we can see here it's spelt backwards, which took me forever to learn. But traveling to Thunder Temple, we were able to find a couple more areas that had these kind of hieroglyphs on the wall, and decoding some of them allowed us to open the archive key. The archive key gave us access to the tome, and then the tome opened up this. Now, I've already done this. This entire thing was pretty much empty, and it had a couple letter values in it, and each letter down here corresponded with a letter that was on here, and it asked different questions. We had to find different answers to fill in some of the blanks, and then the puzzle still wasn't solved. You still had to do the Sudoku, which I love Sudoku puzzles, by the way, and once that was solved, you need to take every number going from left to right, top to bottom, and fill it in. All of these were question marks, and then you enter this URL into your browser, download the MP3, and we get this. At this point I was like sad, and then this happened. And we're back to Morse code once again. So once you take in all the Morse code, it actually takes us to this website right here, where we'll able to upload the audio file. And what we ended up getting looks to be directional inputs. And a really cool message. I don't know what the hell this is. And then there's a nice little thank you at the end, which is really awesome. But that first sequence in there was actually the very last dash code. So now that we have the very last dash code, let's get back in and see what it all means. So that dash code, actually, there were a couple things. At first, I got it wrong, but the actual inputs, some of them did a circle a couple of times, and we found out that when it made a circle, you have to repeat the dash code. So the final dash code that we got was upright, upright, right, down, up, left, up, upright, down, left, left, up, down, right, down, down, down. And there it is. A prologue, heart, one of the coolest secrets I've seen, and it was probably a good 4 to 6 hours that the Celeste Cord was just going to town, working as a team. It was actually really awesome. I kind of just sat on the sidelines and watched. Everyone did a really good job. There was a lot of good teamwork, like, hey, I found this, you do that, I'll take this, you guys go do that, and then report back. It was great. It is exactly what I wanted to see. As I said in the main video, I didn't actually know a lot of this. I knew that there was a secret. I didn't know the depth of the secret. I didn't know what you would have had to have done to find all of this out. And now that I've actually got to just really dig deep into it, it's like I'm blown away. I really appreciate, once again, all the work that everybody did. Like, this is going to be something that we're all going to remember for a really long time. And that makes me feel good. I hope it makes you guys feel good too. So let's get this heart, get on with it. I hope this was a good alternative for you. I know not everyone has 33 minutes to sit down and watch something like that. So this is a nice little TLDR. And I guess that's it. Until next time, have a great night. Beautiful.